gonna give an update on me and how things have been going, and yeah, basically that. I'm kind of sitting there thinking, like, making a rundown of all my symptoms. It's pretty intense. So things have been pretty brutal. It goes up and down, but it all, like, I suppose if I was in a coma for a month or two, it'd probably make things okay. I don't know why the nervous system just gets mad if I do anything. Basically, don't move. It's the way it's always been for me. It's like you do anything, it's a setback. And how do you explain that to anybody? You just can't. It's so hard because there's got to be, quote, something that's going to help. You know, the thing is, I can do all this stuff. It's harder, but I can do stuff. But it just makes the symptoms so intense. So I have to come up with a proper way for me to be able to do my shit and heal at the same time, which I have not found yet. Some of the symptoms are better. So I'm thinking eventually it'll catch up and just get stronger as I'm going. But right now I would say it's 10% better than it was. But like when days like today I go out for work, and I went out for, like, I woke up feeling like I was just fucking done. So when the day starts that way, it's even worse. So, but I went out all day. I did what I can. Sorry about that. I do what I can, and next week it's gonna probably go out one day, and the rest of the week will be working from home and getting stuff done here, which is fine. But to me, I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy to do that. My whole body is just buzzing right now, and like the weirdest feelings and burning skin and neuropathies, and it's just madness. Just madness. All because I go out, be on my feet. I don't do anything like real physical labor. But the couple hours I did drive today, I'm glad I can do that. I mean, I've spent almost over 8 years to get to that point. But the driving and then the being on my feet for a couple hours and then running a couple errands, that's enough to throw any bit of healing I did through the week out the window. So it looks like next week will be a 1-day week. It sucks. I just really like going out and doing what I do. I've strived to get to where I'm at right now. Really, I worked really hard to get where I'm at. And then it's really, really disheartening when it gets bad. Ugh. So I cut Remeron 2 months ago. And I'm sure it's probably pretty stable in my system now. But the nervous system is just having a shit. It's having a shit. It's trying to stay steady at crap level. It just sucks. So as much as I sit around and do nothing, I can work from home, which doesn't take a lot, but it does take something. Me not being able to do the things that I want to do, it just feels fucking lazy and worthless. It sucks. It just sucks. You could have somebody tell you all you want. You're fine. You don't have to worry about it. But and I appreciate it in my life. I really do. My girlfriend's a big support, but it just feels like shit because I want to be out. I want to be out all the time. I want to constantly be doing what I'm doing because I like it. But I haven't gotten to that point yet. And now with setbacks like this that are so extreme, this is going to be definitely known as one of my worst waves from cutting Remeron. You know, it should be way easier than this. But the thing is, it's not so much the withdrawal of cutting, it's the fucking nervous system hit. It's like, why is my nervous system still so fucked up? Seriously. It doesn't make sense. It's been 8 years since I've been off benzos. I mean, I know that fucked me up really bad, and it was scary. And just because I've been cutting Remeron and I got off other stuff before, why in the world am I this fucked up? I've been through all the medical stuff, so I can't blame it on anything else other than an injured nervous system and brain, from what happened. And I'm super sensitive. I get it. And it always goes back to a baseline eventually, you know. Um, but at what cost, and how long it will take. That's like, you know, I've been building my life really great in the last few years. I'm to a point where I want to be, but it's hard to be happy when you're just having these suffering, these feelings of overwhelm and suffering. It's hard to be happy like that. I can think about and write down all the great things that I'm really happy about, but it gets covered up by this mask of terrible symptoms that nobody really experiences other than people in this situation. It's like sometimes people have one or two of these symptoms, a few here and there, and it's very uncomfortable. But this is just a constant barrage of hell. And I know everybody on the outside wants to help and fix it. I get it. I would have fixed it already. How long's it been for you, Grayson? Mine's just been so fucking long. It's been so protracted for so long. And it's because I've been having to, you know, still get off of Remeron. And that stuff just fucks me up. The cutting it now, like I only have to cut like 3 or 4 more times. But the thing is, it's just to the point where the percentages are getting higher and higher every time I cut. So it's intense. So every time I cut it, I get the withdrawal. I don't talk about milligrams and stuff like that because people compare that way too much. Because I was on a quote small dose, and after 2 or 3 weeks, stop it, guys! Fuck! Constantly tearing apart the furniture. Oh, fuck me. It was a small dose in Xanax world. But I tapered it for 2 weeks. So stupid. But I didn't really have a choice because he wasn't going to prescribe it anymore. But it was small in the Xanax world, but it completely destroyed me. But I was kindled from Valium before. All I can suggest is, in the thick of it, when you're getting off the stuff, I'm not a doctor, and this is what I wish I had the advice. to not go on anything else that you can get dependent on. Because if your nervous system's fucked from benzos, you're pretty much going to go through hell tapering anything. I've been kindled because I was on Valium for about a year, and but I didn't take it every day, but I took it way more than I ever took Xanax. Um, and when I got off of Valium, which I just stopped taking, didn't have an issue at all. And then all of a sudden, Xanax was like a year later. I don't even remember exactly, and it was pure hell. So it only makes sense that Valium kindled me. Yeah. But anyway, getting back to it, I was on a small amount of Xanax. And then he put me onto Klonopin, and I just basically cold turkeyed that 2 weeks. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that. That was so long ago. Eight, 8.5 years ago, maybe. I'd have to check. I have an app, lets me know. But so much has gone on, happened since then. You know, the ups and downs have been absolutely crazy. And in general, the last while has been decent, hard, but decent. I got my life back. I lived on my own for a while. I was working on my own, doing everything. So I mean, things got better. And tapering was hard, but not like this last cut. This last cut, never anything like it. Completely insane. And the problem is I let stress get to me big time during the cut. And it just made my nervous system go to hell. To the point it's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm able to sleep. Um, After I first cut, I had my insomnia for a while, as I usually do, but it regulates itself. It'll always regulate itself after a bit. The only reason I'm on Remeron is because I didn't sleep for almost 2 weeks after I got off of benzos, and it was one of the biggest mistakes. I was put on a lot of stuff, but I cold turkeyed a lot of it throughout the first year that they just put me on for all my symptoms and shit. But Remeron has been the absolute bitch for me. I took somebody's advice about, oh, you'll sleep. Oh, yeah, I slept. And I was the biggest fucking zombie for years. It was awful. You don't get real sleep. You don't get real sleep. These fucking cats. What's going on, you guys? You're making me fucking nuts. Yeah, you. But don't go on anything else if you don't have to. If you have to take something once in a while, as long as it's not something that hits the GABA A receptor, then fine, but don't get dependent on something because that will be your downfall later. I would have probably healed within 3 years. I'm guessing. That's just a guess. If it wasn't for Remeron, I mean, like, my nervous system is going through worse times now than it has in years just because of the cutting this. Because my nervous system can't handle it anymore. So it's just getting harder and harder. But I can't cold turkey it. I can't. I'll be out for the count, won't be able to work. I can barely work now. I've cut it in half right now. Luckily, I'm able to do that. It's been a process to get to this point. I'll fucking tell you right now. Oh, but anyway, um, sleep comes back. It all comes back, and well, thank you, appreciate it. I do my best. I do my best. I am at a low dose, definitely, of Remeron. I only have to cut 3 or 4 more times, but it's probably going to take years because I don't even have a process of thinking to taper again anytime soon, probably next year, because my body's going to take a long time to recover from this from this cut, and to me get back into working full time again and stuff like that. It's going to take a good while, so, and if it gets too intense, I'll have to pull back pretty much big time. I just don't know. I don't know at what point where I'm supposed to be. Like, I've been through this for so long, but yet I still don't know the balance of living and healing. It's different every time. And right now things are so intense that it's like, I think living is taking too much. But I also hate fucking staying home. I fucking hate it. Um, I worked really hard to get to where I'm at. My worst symptoms right now? Well, funny, it's so much different than the last couple of days. The last couple of days, my DPDR is so fucking high. A little better today, for sure. Um, but I would say the whole body, I get akathisia pretty brutal in my legs, and it's just this crawling, moving shit in my fucking legs. And it just feels so uncomfortable. A lot of static type feeling inside my legs that keep moving around. But I know it's bad because it goes up into my arms and my head. But my head's starting to feel a little better than it did like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. The internal vibrations, oh my God. I get that mostly when I'm really tired. Like, I have it now, I can feel it. But like when I'm waking up or like I'm just super tired, the whole entire insides are just like, literally like that. Like that. It's awful. Literally. But I'm able to do a lot that a lot of people wish they could do. So I mean, I don't take that for granted, but it's so hard to do it in this situation. Um, I'm getting a lot more pain than I'm used to. A lot more pain. A lot of burning skin and stretching. Like my skin feels like it's stretching. Ugh, it's awful. A lot of pinpricks. The typical nervous system reaction bullshit. Um, my brain's been fucked for like days, but it started feeling better last night, and it came into today, which was good because I went out for work, and that helped today. I had a long day today, and all I did was ramp up my symptoms so bad, and that just means tomorrow and the next day are going to be brutal, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. I try not to judge it too much. I just suggest the same thing. Try not to like overthink what's going to happen just because it keeps happening, because sometimes it changes. The nervous system's so fucked up. I really don't get why it doesn't understand. Like, I could not sleep well and I'll feel better the next day, and then the day after that it's like way worse or better. You just never know. Yeah, 30 symptoms, it makes sense. You're in the right time for it. When I was getting off benzos and doing all that, I had a list of like almost 100. It can be pretty brutal when you really come down to think about what you have. But it does get better. They rotate. I always say that. They morph. They morph around, which sucks, but sometimes it's okay. Like, I was having a lot of like physical head symptoms a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't handle it. Well, that just morphed into something else, which totally sucked, but it was nice to get it out of my head. Yes, it is normal to feel like you're dying. I mean, it makes sense because I ended up, after I went through cold turkey pretty much anyway. And like as time went on, it got worse and worse and worse for me. I went and got every single medical test possible. I was terrified and I had to know. And nothing really came up. A few things came up, but it was like, you know, false positives for a few things and stupid like that. Um, but when the nervous system's completely injured and you know, there is an injury in your brain as well. It just things aren't going back and forth the way they should, and it gives false this and that. Hence, you know, like anxiety, you know, where you feel like, you know, tiger's fucking running after you when you're just laying there watching TV. You know, it's bad signals and you're going to feel like you're dying. I mean, like right now the way I feel physically, somebody would absolutely go to the ER thinking they were dying. But I've done this for 8.5 years, so I just literally talk through it and go through it and hope for the best, because I know things have gotten better every single time. But normally I don't feel this bad, especially this late in the game. But yeah, you'll feel like you're dying. If it's up to you if you want to go get medical tests for certain things. I did for my own self sanity. And yes, people do. I've been here for 8.5 years, and I was an admin on Benzo Recovery Facebook page, which is still there, but yeah, I don't think it's available to use anymore because all the admins, you know, a lot went on with that. But you know, good things and bad things. But I've seen so many people heal. 6 months later, 2 months later, 2 years later, 4 years later. I saw, and it made me jealous. It makes me jealous a lot. That's why I suggest people usually came back to the group when they'd be in a really bad wave and be like, "What's going on? I was better." And then you kind of dig and you realize they were drinking or doing something stupid that they shouldn't do. Just be careful. Don't overdo it like I apparently am. Um, but yeah, I've seen people heal constantly. I can't even count. But I've also seen a lot of people take their lives. So you have to be careful and you have to be positive because you can heal. I've been in this for 8.5 years. I was pretty much disabled in the beginning. Although my story is very long and it sucks. Um, I was at a point last year. Last December was the best month I've ever had in my life. I mean, I still have issues and whatever, but you know, things were getting so much better for me. But I have to end up cutting again, and my cuts are getting really intense. Never drink. I mean, you're pretty much just hurting the receptors that you're trying to heal from. So stay away from alcohol. Yeah, I was extremely short term as well. 2 years off is, you know, in this world can be pretty early still. Um, but I can't stay on much longer. But I will tell you, just stay the course, do research, don't obsess, try to accept. I still haven't accepted this, but like there's a point to where you're just like, oh, this is how it is. Like right now, like what I'm going through right now, it's hard to accept that it's back in such full force, but I have to accept it. You know, I have to accept it. And people do heal, and I wouldn't bullshit you. I feel like hell right now. I sometimes I don't believe it, but from just being an admin on a recovery page for few years, I've just seen it happen so many times, and people would come back and they'd tell these like great stories and be like, I did this, I was laying on the floor. Yeah, so I see people get better. I see people that do stupid things and keep themselves in a bad spot. And some people could say like, you know, Well, Dan, you're not doing well because you're still on Remeron trying to get off. But yep, exactly. And I've built a life to where I can't lay around all the time. I can't. So if I could just do nothing, I would get better quicker. But that's also a problem because you need to move. You know, you have to weigh setting yourself back sometimes because your body still needs to move. And diet, 100%. Get a clean diet. If you're fucking off with your diet, that is going to kick your fucking ass. It took me so long to get to the right thing, and basically all I ate was bland fucking chicken all the time. Oh, it was so boring, but that helped a lot. A good diet helped a lot. Take out anything shitty. That'll make a difference. And once if you're able to eat beef at all, that was one of the things that helped me. It started to make my body buzz probably because of the vitamins I wasn't getting. And so I ate beef like once every 3-4 days, just a little bit, and then I kept adding more and more in. And now I eat a little beef every day, steak, whatever, a little bit every day. And that was a turnaround for me. That helped my brain a lot. I don't know why. Maybe I just needed something. I don't know. But I still do it, and it doesn't seem like it's helping now, but who knows? Maybe it is. But like I said, I've been here for a long time, and after everything I've been through, I could say the last year was my best year. But now I'm in hell again. Yeah, CBD can really help, but be careful with that too. Not everybody's the same. I tried CBD in the early, I don't know, years back. And I mean, you have to get the right stuff to make sure it's not a tincture or alcohol in it, and blah, blah, blah. CBD, if it calms down your system enough, sometimes your nervous system can have a backlash of symptoms. That's what happens with me because I'm so sensitive. So if you're super sensitive, taking anything that calms down your nervous system will usually make it worse. So, but if you're able to, yeah, that's awesome. I'm assuming one day I'll probably utilize it when I can handle it better. But yeah, some people I know can handle it. Some people just smoke weed while they're in this, and they're totally cool with it. I could never do that. I would be in DPDR hell, and my nervous system would be freaking the fuck out. But that's the difference between if you're like overly sensitive. Like my nervous system can't handle shit anymore. Nothing. It just sucks. Hence why I can barely cut the Remeron. But again, the last cut I did was almost 15%. And for me, that's way too high. But I have no choice because I'm almost, I'm really low on it. So I know, me too. I had to quit smoking weed before this, or right as this happened. When I got sick, I couldn't do it anymore. I smoked weed for like, shit, so long. But it probably contributed to my DPDR when I was younger. I always kind of had it. So I think I was kind of hurting myself mentally by doing it. But it got me through some of my worst times, depression years. So that's pretty cool. Ugh. I'm probably going to get off here in a minute. Just tired. Body is buzzing. And I've been trying to take baths lately, which I always do, but my baths lately, I think they're too hot because they're making me feel worse. Do I have head pressure? Not like I used to. When I first cut I do. Like when things get too stressful, I can feel it. But it's not like when I first got off benzos and I had that band around my head for a few years. 3 years probably. But I think I had my first bout of head pressure after this cut. Lasted a couple weeks. Nothing major. I still feel it a little bit, but it's not anything that I can't deal with. Numbness in my forehead? No, but I have numbness here. Probably because of my beard. I have no idea. But half my face gets numb. Uh, yeah, cold turkey's a bitch. Well, good. I'm glad CBD helps you. Definitely always utilize it. And I always state it to everybody. Everybody's different. And I'm glad you're able to. I mean, right now I might be able to, but I doubt it. But yeah, I'm susceptible as well to a lot of things. Very, yeah. 15%, it is massive. And the thing is, you don't really have a choice. And I'm not going to change the way I taper now. Like, I could go to a liquid taper and then do. I'm not going to do that because that'll fuck me up even more. So my next cut will actually be 16.5%. That's fucking nuts. So I'm going through hell because of it. Yes, my vision does become more disturbed, but that's a very open way to say it. I mean, I have visual snow in general, and I've had it since I was a teenager. So like my vision is really fucking warped as is. So having all this makes my life even more fucking miserable. Yeah, it's weird. So you have it in your forehead and your nose. I have it like here and here, but only in bad waves. Like it eases up otherwise. Epsom salt bath, I don't do it because magnesium always fucks me up. I'll use a little Epsom if I like need to soak my feet or something. As Richard says, yes. If it does all clear up and you will appreciate. When I was having my better days, I'd say the last year has been better. I've been able, even though things have still been hard for me, I've been able to work for myself and do all this stuff. I appreciate it so much more. My life is so much better because of all this bullshit. Before, I took everything for granted. I wouldn't want to do this again, but since it is my life, I definitely appreciate things now. Yeah, I mean, seizure stage is like, dude, it's pretty much right away. I had seizures, getting off of benzos. I had a lot of them too. um, they don't really hurt you in the process. It's just really stressful. Uh, but usually it's not that long, to be honest. I can't cut smaller. I'm literally cutting the smallest I possibly can right now. I use two scales too. I got a really insanely sensitive scale to try to cut even between those cuts, but you can't do it. Yes, you're definitely past the seizure state. How long have you been off benzos, or what are you doing? I don't remember now. I can sleep. When I first cut, I would say I didn't sleep well for about a week. After about a week of being off, and I didn't. I had insane insomnia. So 1 month, 2 weeks. Oh yeah, you're good. If that's what you meant. Um, because that shit's pretty quick. I did a lot of research on that, and your anxiety is going to tell you different, but it's uh, it's intense. When I first got off, yeah, you're good. 1 month, 2 weeks. I'd still, be careful. Don't overdo it. And sleeping's going to be a bitch, but please, please save yourself by don't get dependent on something just to sleep, because you're going to tell yourself it's that important. I would not be where I'm at right now if I didn't go and run around to sleep. This would have been done years ago, guaranteed. Um, if you have to take something, I don't suggest anything, but if you have to take something, do it once. Don't get dependent on anything. Yeah. That's all I got. Sleeping's an absolute bitch. I use the Calm app. Of course, I'm at a different stage than you, but I use the Calm app, and I always listen to sleep stories and stuff. Even if I can't sleep, rest is really important. And you'll always get micro sleeps, whether you think you are or not. Well, I'm glad I could kind of give some advice today or help some people. But it does all get better. It's just really hard. Yeah. Oh, dude, I still get that once in a while. The hypnic jerks. Yeah. Um, I would get a lot of different things in that category. I'd get air hunger, where like I would just be like, like that. One of my worst symptoms, which ended up why I ended up going on something for sleep, was every time I would try to go to sleep, I'd get this energy burst from my stomach that would shoot up into me. So like every time I was about to fall asleep, it would be like, whoop, whoop. I couldn't fall asleep ever. It was absolute torture. And I've had it a few times after the fact, and I still get it a little bit. Like after this cut, I got it a little bit scary. Um, but yeah, I get that. Internal tremors, you'll have it for a while. Just try to keep as calm as you can. If you can't eat, man, I don't know what that means exactly, but if you're able to eat at all, eating was one of the things that made my symptoms somewhat. Um, Eating was one of the things that made me feel a little better, and it still does to this day. Nausea is a bitch, though. Man, it's so hard to eat when you feel like this. But it's the one thing that calmed things down for me a little bit. I don't know if some of this has to do with your stomach and what's going on in your stomach. I have no idea. But even to this day, my symptoms will calm down after I eat dinner. And not by much, but a little bit. It's weird. Oh, thanks, Diana. I try to be. Yeah, I've thought about it, but I don't know. I just do it for like do it the way I do it here. But yeah, take it day by day. Um, it's hard. Like I see a lot of people being coaches and stuff like that, and I don't know. You know, it's hard because everybody's so different, and I would hate to put somebody in a bad place. Like these are just things that help me, and I mentioned that everybody's different. Somebody's able to take CBD, but me telling you don't go on a drug because of this, I mean, I might be making you do something that could totally help you. I don't think anybody really knows. Yes, exercising, I still can't exercise. But when I'm able to, I try to start walking when it's nicer out. But I have to start so slow, especially after this cut. I won't be able to do much walking for a little while. Well, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll do it when I start feeling a little bit better. Oh, fuck, I have no energy. But then again, people would look at me and say I have a lot of energy compared to them. So I guess I'm just exhausted of all this fucking bullshit. Oh, Richard, well said. Stress, yeah, I had to cut it out. And admittedly, I still have a lot of stress in my life, and I'm working really hard because that's the one thing that's like acid on your nervous system. Hey, Angela's here. Hi, Angela. It's been a long time. I'm still tapering Remeron. God, that's been a fucking long time. I only have like 3 or 4 more cuts to go, but at this point, the cuts are so excruciating that I'm cutting it like once every year, so I'll never be off this shit. I only had the boat feeling. Hi, Patricia. I've only had the boat feeling like for the first like 2 years after being off benzos. I don't get that much anymore. Of course, now that I've cut, I get it a little bit, but not like I did. I would never drink alcohol in withdrawal. I learned that right away. But the boat feeling will go away. That one left, and it was like instantaneous for me, and I don't get instantaneous anything. I was on Xanax and then transferred to Klonopin. I was on Valium for about a year, sporadically, like a year before all that, which kindled me and made me worse. Well, I gotta roll out of here. It's been a good conversation today. So I'm gonna keep this video up. Usually I just delete some of my stupid videos that don't help any at all. But yeah, nice to see you, Angela. Yeah, close is, yeah. Cream, whoa. Shit, good luck with that. I'm glad you came on and told me. Well wishes to you. I don't know. Message me on Facebook or come on here and say hello. Let me know how it goes. I will be. It's hard to tell. I've been trying to come on every day. What day is today? I'll come on tomorrow, probably in the afternoon. I might come on like early. I usually don't come on around 4, but I can try. Oh shit! I could really use my DPDR to go away. Let me know. Hit me up. Let me know what's going on with you and what's going on with that. I hope it's something that solves those fucking problems. Fucking DPDR is such a fucking bitch. Ugh. But yeah, things in general in my life have gone so much better. Just cutting now is absolutely excruciating because my cuts are getting bigger and I can't cut in the middle of it because I'm so low. I just don't tell you what milligrams I'm on. It causes people to argue for some reason. But the cut now, I feel like it's like acute symptoms, but it's inevitable because it's almost 15% of the pill, and it's brutal. And I have had a lot of stress lately, and I just killed myself, and it was my own fault. So I probably made it 20-30% worse by having stress that I didn't need. So it's a learning experience. But anyway, I'm off here. It's actually been a really, really good conversation today, and I will get it uploaded. Well, it'll upload itself, so it'll be on there eventually. So, is that a question? You lost weight, or you just saying I lost weight? I lost tons of weight. All right, good. I'm glad. I lost tons of weight after I got off of benzos. I think 60 pounds, but I gained for knowledge, you will get it back because I gained it back plus 10 pounds. So, and then well, let's see, with this cut, I think I lost like 6 pounds again. It's just the way the fucking body works. It's fucking bullshit. All right. Well, I'm off. Nice to see Angela and everybody else. Take care and keep your head up, man. It's fucking bullshit shit we go through. Nobody really understands it. Nobody really knows it. Nobody gets it. Doctors don't understand it. It's gonna be a fucking wild ride, but don't give up. Don't give up because I had like I said, even though it was 1 month, December was the best month I've had in a decade. And the reason for that is because I worked really hard to get there. It is totally bullshit. I have to keep tapering and making things worse and worse again. But it's just how it is for the betterment of my life. So take care. Later on.